Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Formathon Finals. See a lot of faces on screen. If you don't have your camera on, I invite you to turn it on. This is a meeting where we're going to get to see all the faces of the Formathon and guests. Just encourage you to keep your microphone muted if that's not already the case. I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen so we could get the show started. All right. So for those of you who don't know me, my name's Nicholas Belvo. I'm the head of marketing at FinTech Cadence, and I'll have the pleasure of being your master of ceremonies this evening. So the agenda for tonight, we're going to kick it off with little welcome notes. We're going to introduce you to FinTech Cadence for those of you who don't know what we're all about, and then a keynote speech by Toby Messier, following which we'll be diving into, well, why you're all here to know the winners of tonight's event. We'll be starting with the startup track winners, followed by the research track winners, and then lastly ending with a networking session in a Zoom breakout room. So for the participants, you know how this works very well. It's going to be randomized and you're going to get to meet the participants, the winners, and well, everybody here this evening. So we'd encourage you to stay till the end of the event. So tonight, the teams will not all be pitching their projects. They actually submitted a video last night of their project, and it's all available on YouTube for you to see. It was posted earlier today, and you'll get an email after this event with the link as well. But if you want to learn more about the projects, well, you could go on our YouTube channel and see them all there. And make sure if you haven't already to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you could hit that little bell as well to be notified whenever we upload new material. So before we dive into the rest, we just wanted to know who's here this evening, and we have a little poll for that. I'm able to launch it myself. Here we go. So first and foremost, just wanted to know what language everyone's most comfortable in. So you should see it on your screen right now. If you want it in English, si vous voulez en français. We're going to do this Montreal style, and on va le faire franglais, bilingual. So most people so far are saying English, some are saying either. On a des francophones, c'est bon, awesome. Okay, cool. So majority of English, mais on va le faire adapté à tout le monde. If you do have any other questions during the networking, feel free to speak in whichever language you want. It'd be awesome to have one room with just Italians or Greeks. Or we also want to know where you're watching from. So you should see another poll on your screen right now. From Quebec, we're located here in Montreal, Ontario, Alberta, BC. We know we have some teams participating from there, maybe outside in other provinces or outside of Canada. Okay, sweet. Looks good. So we have a big representation of Quebec in the room this evening, Ontario, Alberta, BC, and 3 people from outside of Canada. I hope it's not too late for you. Oh, there you go. There are the results. I wasn't even sharing them. And then one last question for all of you. We want to know who's in the crowd. So did you actually participate in the Formathon? Are you a participant? Did you come as a judge or a mandator giving one of the challenges? An expert, or simply a guest, somebody who's heard of this event and want to come to see what all the hype is about and learn about the winning teams. Give you a few more moments to answer. Okay, great. There we go. So makes sense. We have a lot of Formathon participants. 52 are here with us this evening, representing 70% of the room. It's awesome. We got some people from the judging committee, experts, as well as a couple guests. Great. All right, thank you for playing along. So about FinTech Cadence, very briefly, we're a community organization, a non-for-profit that strives to develop the future FinTech leaders across Canada. For that reason, we have 3 different pillars. One is focused around education. So we have the certificate program for that, a 12-week program to learn really all the basics and fundamentals around FinTech. Support. So for this, we have the Ascension program. It's one of the only FinTech incubation programs in Canada dedicated to early stage FinTech startups. So for some of the FinTech teams in the startup track this evening, if you do continue and work on your project, this might be an awesome next step for you, as well as collaborate. So, and that's why we have the Formathon here this evening. It's the biggest FinTech competition in Canada, really focus on three things. One is open innovation, so bringing in different parties to collaborate and work together to find innovative solutions. Talent nurturing, so for those in the research and startup track, to develop your skills in fintech. And lastly, and ultimately, solution creation. This year in numbers, we had 21 teams formed with 65 participants, representing 4 Canadian provinces. And we've had the pleasure of having in 55 experts from financial institutions, SMBs, startups, and corporations. So for those who are not too familiar, there was really 2 tracks, the startup track and the research track. And the challenges were, in the startup track, how can we support Canadians in rebuilding their savings, as well as how can we prepare Canadians to catch up and manage their student loans? In the research track, how will the uptake of open banking be impacted by COVID-19? How might we help children understand the importance and value of money through conversational AI? And how can digital identity introduce benefits and risks for consumers of financial products and services in Quebec and Canada? So all of this would have not been possible without the help of the mandators and sponsors of this year's edition of the Formathon. So just like to take a moment to thank them. Most of them are here with us this evening, from the Autorité des Marchés Financiers, Innovate Financial Health, the Canadian Lenders Association, AI Launch Lab, Gowling WLG, as well as V1 Studios. Thank you so much for taking part of this. And well, thank you for as well selecting tonight's winners. This obviously wouldn't be possible without the help of our experts. So we've heard from the teams, they've been extremely grateful for your time and your advice in helping them with their various projects. So all the experts who participate in this year's Formathon, thank you so much for giving your time and advice to help well, develop the next generation of fintech leaders. Also, shout out to Holt. Our friends from Holt hosted How to Build Your Pitch workshop. And so this helped teams to really develop what they worked on in their projects. We also have the team here with us this evening, so you could check on their screens. They should be waving. We have Layal, the Executive Director of FinTech Cadence, Gigi, Director of Operations and behind-the-scenes technician helping us out pull off this event this evening. We have Neil in charge of partnerships, Pascal for community outreach, and Marina for events. For the Formathon, we also had additional help, and we'd really like to give a big thank you to these 3 individuals: Alejandro, who is the facilitator from Think Like Machine, Melanie, the animator of the startup track, and Dwight, the animator of the research track. So thank you so much to the 3 of you for giving your time. We know that the teams appreciated well, all your help throughout the whole Formathon. So yeah, without you, this would not be possible. And your help was greatly appreciated. So I think you won't hear them. I'll give a round of applause. You guys can give them a round of applause. But thank you, Alejandro, Melanie, and Dwight. All right, so just before we get into the actual prizes, we have something special planned for you this evening. I hope he's here. I think he's here. He's the co-CEO of Aquantix AI. His name's Toby Messier. Recently, he won the National Bank's Innovation Competition's grand prize of $100,000, a past participant of FinTech Cadence Ascension program, and was also a mandator last year's Formathon. So we've really seen him develop Aquantix AI. It's an awesome company, and we asked him to share a bit of tips and tricks and his lessons along the way. So I'm just going to stop sharing my screen, and Toby, if you're here, I'd invite you to come on in.
Hello.
Hey, Toby.
How are you?
Great. Yourself?
Great.
All right. Well, thanks for being here and sharing your tips and tricks. You have 5 minutes to inspire the teams here with us this evening and share a bit of what you've been able to accomplish with Aquantix.
Okay, super. So thanks a lot, Nick, and thanks a lot, everyone from FinTech Cadence for having me here today. So I'll speak for roughly 5 minutes about our experience, we're working with FinTech Cadence, but also our growth with Aquantix. And as you said, some key points we've learned. And I'll be there at the end for question period also if anybody has any more specific questions to ask. I won't talk too much about Aquantix, but I'll still start with a little intro talking about what we do. So as you said, Nick, my name is Toby. I'm co-CEO of Aquantix. What we do at Aquantix is we help financial institutions integrate ESG and climate risks into their decision-making and disclosure process. We went through the Ascension program actually, I think 2 years ago now, and it was really invaluable for us in our growth. And as Nick said, we were involved in the Formathon last year as mandators, which was also very valuable. So I understand that you guys just completed about 3 weeks building a startup project or working on a research project, one or the other. So what I'll do is I'll talk about my first few weeks at Quantix, what it was like, and how things evolved since then until now. So for me, Quantix started 2 years ago now. The beginning of it was in a competition similar to the Formathon. It was the Co-op-a-thon. It was hosted by Desjardins. They do it every year. And they had this question that was, how does water, they have multiple tracks and multiple questions relating to different business issues or research issues. And one of the questions was, how does water affect investments? So I saw that as a participant. I thought that was a fascinating question. I wasn't really thinking of it as a business at that point, but I just thought intellectually it was something very interesting. I knew quite a bit about finance already. I had worked in portfolio management, so the investment side of things is something that was familiar to me. I knew a lot about technology also. I had built multiple little machine learning apps, and I was passionate about that. And climate change and water related issues is also, and environmental issues is also something that I found was super, super important. So I thought it would be interesting to put some time into that and see what I could learn trying to work on a challenge like that. So all I really knew at first is that I thought it was something very interesting, and I realized that it was probably a big issue, water impacting investments. I mean, water, we're having a global water crisis in multiple different countries. It's a huge global problem, and the question of how does it affect investments I thought was fascinating. So to me, it really started as a research question, and I thought it would be great to start working on that and just try to build a product around that, not necessarily business, but at least try to get answers in the question as to what is the relationship. And I knew that much, but what I didn't know is that I didn't realize how big and how challenging it was to actually solve real world problems for real world enterprise or real world investors. So I thought, we can put together some data, we can do a bit of research, a little bit of analytics, a few machine learning regressions, classifications, whatever it is, some clustering, put something together and create some value, but it really was not that simple. So I'll take you a little bit through our process, what the challenges were, and what I learned, and hopefully that can be valuable for you guys going forward in your next steps. So first of all, let's take a little step back. I think there's two types of problems or questions that we can solve as entrepreneurs or as researchers. The number one is fundamental research questions. So a fundamental research question is trying to develop maybe a new molecule for a certain vaccination or whatever it may be. And then the second type of problem is a complex coordination problem, which is a problem that involves multiple different fields. And that's part of the reason why it's not been solved. Like in our case, where it involves finance, environmental and climate sciences, and also technology, machine learning, and so on. So about those two types of problems, the first one, the fundamental research question, the issue is that often it's difficult to create value out of those for groups, because to create value, you need to be solving a problem, and often a problem is not as simple as a very specific solution. So there's sometimes a mismatch in the solution of the problem. And then the second category of things, the second category of problems, complex coordination, is that you need experts from different fields to come together. I think either one of those types of problems are lots of work. In our case, it's with the complex coordination type problem that we focused on, or that we were tackling. So faced with a big problem like that, all you can really do is try to surround yourself with great people. You have to try to surround yourself with people that are better and smarter than you if possible, because it's the only way to be able to tackle problems with multiple different facets, and alone it's impossible, and that's really the concept of building a business. But I don't think that it's true that putting multiple smart people in a room together will come out with a positive result. It takes really, really hard work for everyone, and it's absolutely not an easy process. But you can never know as hard as you work and as much as you make an effort to bring the best people together and try to get everybody to communicate properly, you're never going to know everything about everything, but you have to do your best to try to know everything about everything that you're working on. And what you have to try to do is optimize day after day for learning, meaning that you can't learn anything completely in totality in one day, but in multiple days and multiple iterations, you can learn a lot. So you have to continue learning day after day. And that really, I think, is the best part about developing a business, developing a startup. It's that learning process. It's that day after day, you're going to learn things from different fields that you didn't know about before. And you're gradually going to become much more versatile and able to solve much larger, more complex problems as you go forward. So unlike working in any specific company necessarily, I think building a startup, building a complex research problem is going to enable you to grow in multiple different facets, learn a lot, and work with amazing people. So I'll cut it there for now because I'm starting to take a bit of time, but I'll be happy to kind of continue the discussion later on with you guys. And it's a pleasure being here. Thank you for the invitation.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, Toby, for taking part in this event and sharing your story for everyone. And we're excited to have you for, well, to stay along for the networking. So if you have questions for Toby or would like to meet with him, he's generously offered to stay a bit longer. So Toby, thanks again for sharing all that. And we'll continue now with the next part of the evening. I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen again. Great. Well, as promised, we're going to now continue with the startup track winners. So startup track, I hope you're ready and excited. We're going to kick it off with the challenge, how can we support Canadians in rebuilding their savings? It's presented by Innovate Financial Health. And to introduce the winner, I'd like to welcome Elvis Wong, founder and director at IFH.
Great. Hi, everyone. It's been my pleasure to be here tonight. It's been a lot of fun the past 3 weeks working with all of the startups here. And just a bit of background about Innovate Financial Health. We're a nonprofit here in Toronto, and our goal is to support fintechs that are focused on improving the financial lives of Canadians, particularly those more financially vulnerable. So for this particular challenge, how do we rebuild Canadian savings? We think that's a very important issue for us to solve right now. So I'm super excited to announce the winners for this challenge. The winners of this challenge will be getting mentorship and further mentorship from both us and also the mentors that we've gathered for our accelerator program that we're currently wrapping up right now. So without further ado, the winners for this first challenge is STELLA.
Congratulations, Stella. Somebody from the team available to give us a quick rocket pitch to share what you've been working on.
Hi, this is Akankya from Team STELLA.
Hey, Akankya. Go ahead. Let us know in 15-20 seconds what STELLA is.
So good evening, everyone. It's such a pleasure to have this award today because I was expecting that there were so many talented teams. I was just viewing the other teams' pitches and they were so good. And to let you know about those who do not know about STELLA, as our tagline suggests, save and invest every day. Our idea rests on helping Canadians save more money through deals on grocery shopping through an optimized algorithm and investing the saved money in stocks. So if you're more interested, just contact one of us and we'll be happy to know your idea about it. And I hope you'll really enjoy using this app once we are done with the phase of building the app and once we launch it. So on behalf of my team, I would also like to thank the Formathon team members, especially Lyal, Gigi, and Alejandro, and Melanie. Actually, Melanie was the one who told me about this Formathon competition, and thank you, Melanie. It was really a very enriching experience. The sessions were really helpful. We actually never knew, especially me, I didn't know that there were so many steps to be taken to validate an idea. So thank you for that. And although we were really shaking in our minds, but being able to talk about our ideas with industry experts, that was really enriching. I would also like to thank other teams who also participated in the startup track along with us, because it is the competition that really motivated us to keep going. We look forward to taking our next step in this journey, and hopefully we will have support from all of you in the same. Thank you.
That was amazing. That was a welcome speech. I was thinking a rocket pitch. That was, it's like the Oscars here.
Thank you so much.
Great job. Well, awesome. Thank you for sharing that and for those amazingly kind words. So for everybody who wants to meet with you, you'll be staying for the networking session afterwards?
Yeah.
Awesome. So yeah, thanks. And congrats again to the whole STELLA team.
Thank you.
All right, on to the next challenge. How can we prepare Canadians to catch up and manage their student loans? This one, again, was presented by Innovate Financial Health. So you already know who Elvis is. Elvis, you want to take it away and explain what the next winning team is going to get?
Great. So yeah, the next winning team will also be getting a further mentorship from the Innovate Financial Health team, as well as our network of mentors to help them grow their idea. And we're super excited. We had a really tough time with this challenge. The ideas were really great here, but we're super excited to announce the winners of this particular challenge as Seed Finance.
Congrats, Seed Finance. Somebody from Seed Finance available to give us a rocket pitch or an Oscar Golden Globe type receiving speech? Who wants to go? Amna?
Hey, this is Kai from Seed Finance.
Hey, Kai.
Yeah, well, thank you so much. This is quite an honor. I think we definitely couldn't achieve it with every team member's efforts on this, specifically Amna, Alex, Keenan, Chendi, Ifan, and Zach. So basically, the challenge we're tackling is that 1 out of 6 bankruptcies in Canada are because of student loans. Student loans have fixed payments, opaque terms, and loans that don't translate into successful careers. So that's why taking a student loan is ranked the #1 regret among college graduates. So at Seed Finance, we fund students' education through income share agreements. Students come to our P2P platform to secure the financing they need for educational programs. And in return, they will pay back a percentage of their salary only if the student is making a livable wage. In addition to the financial assistance, our P2P investors also provide valuable mentorships and make a good social impact on their investment. So currently there are no competitors in Canada, and we're addressing the immediate market of $5 billion. So we're right now asking for your help to further validate our idea by connecting us with potential partners and investors. So please join us and empower Canadian students to grow.
Awesome, thanks for that. And you'll be here as well for the networking at the end?
Yep, our team will be here.
Awesome. Well, Seed Finance, congrats to everyone on your team. And we now move on to the next challenge. And thanks again, Innovate Financial Health, for these 2 awesome prizes and supporting those challenges. All right, so now we have Gowling that's going to be presenting a prize, not to one specific challenge, but for any team in the startup track. To introduce the winners, please welcome Mathieu.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mathieu Santos Bouffard. It's been a pleasure hearing and seeing your startup pitches. So I practice in corporate and tax law at Gowling WLG in Montreal with a focus in commercial laws and mergers and acquisitions. As mentioned previously, Gowling WLG is an international firm created through the combination of Gowlings, a Canadian firm, and WLG, an international firm based in the United Kingdom. So Gowling is pleased to offer to the winner of the Formathon the startup legal consulting package comprising 3 hours of legal consultation that can be used in various areas of expertise, such as intellectual property, commercial law, employment, tax, or regulatory. So the winner of the Gowling WLG prize for 2020 will be Auction.
Congrats. Awesome, Jose. Good job. You guys there? I'm clapping. You guys could all clap. I don't know if you could hear everybody. But...
Oh, okay. Thank you. I'm kind of shocked. Thanks. I'm not that prepared yet for my 1-minute pitch.
Os, you're always prepared. We determined this last time. You're a natural.
Okay. Thank you, Matthew. I wanted to thank everyone at FinTech Cadence as well. We were very passionate about video games, and we saw this need for it. So the pitch is simply, we're trying to create wealth for gamers and game developers using blockchain. We can allow users to really cash out after they invest time and money into their games. So yeah, that's a 15-second pitch.
That's perfect. Well, congrats to you. You're sticking around as well for the networking.
Yes, definitely.
Rock and roll. Well, congrats to the whole Oxian team.
And
next up, Mathieu.
Yeah, exactly. And we decided to have a second winner because we really appreciated the idea and the video pitch. So the second winner is Seed.
Seed Finance, you won again. Congrats. All right, well, great job. We already heard your pitch. Is there anything else you wanted to add?
Yes, so I would like to say that I really appreciate the teams and the mentors and the supporters along the way. The idea that we have is definitely very new, especially in the Canadian market. So we definitely think we'll need all the help that we will get. Again, like I really appreciate our team's efforts on this and really look forward to growing this idea with everyone on the channel.
Awesome. Well, congrats, Oxy and Seed Finance, Mathieu and Gowling WLG. Thank you so much for well supporting these teams. And I wish you both the best luck in the development of your startups. All right. So that concludes the startup track winners. So that's, yeah, that's all the prizes. And then we're going to move on to the research track as promised. But first, we have a special announcement. For this special announcement, I think I need a drink, so I'll be right back. All right, special announcements, you know, you can't take it half-assed, so I just want, if anybody else is having a beer, you know, it's, what, 5:30? Cheers to all of you. I'm having a little St. Ambroise Tangerine IPA. I see some of you have some other beverages. And you know what, because drinks go so well with fintech in general, like drinks and fintech, it's just like, it sounds good, right? Speaking of which, fintech drinks also sounds good. I'm not sure if any of you have ever heard of it, like, you know, drinks and fintech, fintech and drinks, yeah? Well, I have a poll question here that I'm going to launch again. Dun, 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 if I could figure it out. Here we go. So I just want to know, has anybody ever been to fintech drinks? It's something we launched last year. Let's see what people answer. Okay. Awesome. Share the results. So a lot of people didn't, and some people don't know what fintech drinks is. We have a couple people who've been, so cheers to you, especially to the ones who've come many times. But fintech drinks is an event that takes place and is coming back. So the next fintech drinks is going to be July 15th around the theme of cybersecurity. So it's called Lockdown. I just need to close this poll because it's blocking my whole screen. Lockdown, how cybersecurity has to step up. So fintech drinks previously was a gathering where we brought the whole fintech community together in Montreal, where we had a great high-level panel speak about one subject for about 30, 45 minutes, followed by a Q&A, and then a big in-person networking. We had one lined up just before coronavirus came to Canada, and then we had to cancel it. And we've been trying to figure out what to do to bring it back, because it was one of our favorite events that was monthly and really brought the community together. So we're super excited to announce for the first time this evening that Fintech Drinks is coming back in an all-new online format. It's going to take place on Hopin. I don't know if some of you have ever tested that platform. It's really neat because there's a stage area, networking, booths, and an expo zone. So we're inviting you all to come and check it out. Plus, best of all, normally it's $15, $20 tickets. Well, now Fintech Drinks online is going to be free. It is bring your own beer or wine. We're not supplying the drinks this time, but we invite you all to come and you'll receive an email afterwards with the link to sign up. And another special announcement, we already have the first speaker lined up. It's going to be Mathieu Lavoie, co-founder and CEO of Flare Systems. So Flare Systems, a Montreal-based startup, really cool company. He's been on the FinTech Founders podcast, if you want to learn more about him, leader in cybersecurity. And he's going to be sharing his inputs about, well, what's been going on in the cyber world with, well, with this whole lockdown. And lastly, one last note, we are still looking for sponsors for the next FinTech Drinks and the whole edition. We have already 5 lined up. And if you're interested, if your organization's interested in partnering with us and sponsoring FinTech Drinks, we'd love for you to reach out. You could contact my colleague, Neil. Should wave, Neil. I think you're here. You could say hi, and then maybe your video will pop up.
Hi. I'm Neil. I'd be happy to speak with you.
Thanks, Neil. So you could write to Neil at partnerships@, fintechcadence.com, and well, you could chat with Neil and see what's possible. All right, cool. So that was the special announcement, and we'll get back to our regular programming now. We're going to be diving into the research track and the winners of the research track. We're going to start with the challenge by the STELLA. How will the uptake of open banking be impacted by COVID-19? To present the winner, please welcome Tal Schwartz, Head of Strategy at STELLA.
Thanks, Nick. Hey, guys. My name is Tal. I run strategy for the Canadian Lenders Association. We're the largest trade group for consumer and business lending in Canada, and we represent fintech lending in the country. You know, this question of open banking is incredibly near and dear to our hearts, and in fact, I would say that open banking is probably the most important issue facing fintech innovation in Canada today. So it was really exciting to see what you know, the Formathon participants put together, and really excited to go and present the winner. So the winner will receive one-on-one mentorship with the Canadian Lenders Association and our motley crew of fintech lenders across the country. And I'm happy to present the winners. My favorite thing to do in Calgary, the Stampede.
Congrats, Stampede. Somebody from the Stampede team here able to give us a quick rocket pitch?
Hello, everyone. We are Team Stampede. So as you can see from our team name, we're all from Calgary. So yeah, our focus is how will the uptake of open banking be impacted by COVID-19? It's a really large and tough question. And because there's no open banking in Canada currently, so we compare the open banking in UK during the COVID-19 crisis. And we concluded that when Canada had the appropriate regulation framework, open banking can definitely help consumers to get better price, convenience, and customized financial product. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thanks, Team Stampede, and congrats, and we'll see you later on in the networking sessions.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Tal. All right, on to the next challenge. How might we help children understand the importance and value of money through conversational AI? This challenge was presented by two organizations, AI Launch Lab and V1 Studios. To present the winners, I'd like to welcome Elham and Saba.
Hello, everyone. My name is Elham. I'm finishing my PhD in mathematics at Polytechnic of Montreal, specializing in algorithm development and artificial intelligence in finance. Soon I will join FinML community as a postdoc fellow. I had a wonderful experience to help participants in this formathon for Challenge 6 from AI Launch Lab side.
Yeah, hi, I'm Saba. I'm a venture analyst at V1 Studio. V1 Studio is a startup studio, and for those who don't know what that is, we identify problems that matter and build innovative companies to solve them. So we're a team of entrepreneurs and techies just like working together and trying to solve problems and build companies. We're really excited to be part of the Formathon this time around. The teams did absolutely great with the mandates. And we're excited to share the winner. So the winner of this challenge, though it was a really hard call, will receive the opportunity to continue developing their idea with the guidance of V1 Studio and AI Launch Lab together to develop their to develop their concept. So the winner is Team Lemons.
Congrats, Team Lemons.
Wow, thank you.
Congrats.
On behalf of Team Lemons, we're all really excited. We really enjoyed this project. We all jumped in together, and many of us didn't know each other before. And I really want to thank all the mentors and all the experts and all the workshops that were really, really helpful. So for us, we looked into how to build a robust and engaging platform that makes learning fun for kids, but also allows them to interact with important stakeholders, and also make sure that the features we have will actually have a real impact on their financial future, hopefully. So thank you so, so much. Thank you.
Awesome. Congrats, Team Lemons. And we'll
Thank
see you at the networking session
Yes.
just afterwards. Great. And AI Launch Lab, V1 Studios, thank you so much once again. On to the next challenge. How can digital identity introduce benefits and risks for consumers of financial products and services in Quebec and Canada? This one was presented by the Autorité des Marchés Financiers and came with the biggest prize, a $5,000 cash prize. To present it and the winning team, I'd like to welcome Kim.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kim. I'm a VP of Strategy, Risks, and Performance at the AMF. As you know, the Autorité des Marchés Financiers is the regulator that oversees Quebec's financial markets. And as such, we oversee in an integrated manner the areas of insurance, securities, derivatives, deposit institutions other than banks, and the distribution of financial products and services for the province of Quebec. Back in 2016, our FinTech group was set up at the AMF to help our organization monitor FinTech innovations in our community. In order to ensure that our regulatory framework is adapted to market realities and to help innovative firms to comply with the laws that we administer. That is why we love to participate to the Formathon, as it provides us with a terrific platform to discuss the application of our regulatory frameworks to the innovations proposed by the startups. So we're very proud of this year's edition of the Formathon, and in particular of the number of teams who engaged themselves head-on in the AMF research track, and a topic naturally that we are very engaged in, given the importance that the firm that we supervise be able to identify their clients in the most efficient manner. So it was a close competition with very interesting presentations. And after intensive deliberations, I'm proud to announce this year's winner is Team STONK.
Congrats, Team STONKS. All right. Somebody here from Team STONKS, give us their elevator pitch.
Hello, guys. So thank you, everyone, for the support, especially the FinTech Cadence team and all the experts. And on behalf of my team, we're very happy to receive this prize. So we've been working on the digital identity that could reduce risk and improve the benefits for the consumers of financial products and services in Quebec and Canada. So that's why we came up to the conclusion that this implementation should be a balance between progress, privacy, and humanity, and be in line with the Canadian values. So that's what we came up to.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much. And once again, to learn more about, well, STONKS' work and all the other teams, make sure you check out our YouTube channel to be able to see more. And you'll stick around for the networking session if people want to dive in. But yeah, STONKS team, congrats. And AMF, thank you so much for your support with this very important challenge.
We're very happy to participate.
All right, so that wraps up the research track winners. So once again, congratulations to everyone who walked away with a prize this evening, and really to all the teams and participants. Even if you didn't win a prize, your effort and participation in the Formathon in general is a huge step in the right direction to integrate into the fintech ecosystem and learn more. And I hope you've learned more. I'm sure you all have, and got the chance to meet new people within the ecosystem. And they'll keep coming back, notably to FinTech Drinks or our other programs coming up. So that pretty much wraps up the awards ceremony we wanted to do. Don't leave just yet, because remember, we have the networking. But I'd like to give a big shout out once again to all our mandators and sponsors for the Formathon 2820 edition. I think from all the participants, we could give you guys a big warm hand of applause. Next, we'd like to really give a huge round of applause to the experts. Look at all these faces. All these people came and gave their time and their experience to share for the participants of both tracks. So experts, thank you so much for continuing to support future FinTech leaders. It's invaluable, the time and energy you bring to the FinTech Cadence community. Our support staff, Alejandro, Melanie, Dwight, another big thank you. You guys are rock stars. See you in the networking session or for a beer afterwards. And as a reminder, the YouTube channel, you'll get a link afterwards, but make sure you follow us so you see all the other videos that come up. Since we're all online, now we're able to really share with you guys across Canada and for those even outside of Canada. So the community is going to grow, and we're obviously going to be doing more videos. So make sure you follow us on YouTube. Great, and yes, you'll also get a link for this, FinTech Drinks. It's going to be really, really cool. Sign up, it's free, so you have nothing to lose, and you'll get the link just after this event as well. But now on to the networking session. So for this, Gigi, I'll give it back over to you. I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and we're going to do random breakout rooms. So Gigi, I'm going to make you host. There we go. Let me know if that works, Gigi.
Perfect, yes.